May the 24th, 2008 was a watershed date in the blossoming career of top British rock band the Kaiser Chiefs. After 2 massively successful albums and a string of hit singles, the Leeds 5-piece finally made it to the Stadium League when they played a much anticipated homecoming concert for nearly 40,000 fans at Ellen Road Stadium, the home of Leeds United Football Club. Just before their sound check on the eve of the show, Kaiser Chiefs frontman Ricky Wilson talked to Total Production about the road to this milestone event and what it meant to the band, show designer Richard Larkham and the rest of their loyal touring crew. Ricky, around 10 years ago when you were still going as under the name of Parva, yeah, did you at any time foresee that you'd be playing a show of this magnitude here in your hometown?
It's a difficult question because you kind of want to say, yeah, we always knew it was possible. But then again, I don't think ambitions stretched that far back then. You know what I mean? Your ambitions, you couldn't even see this far, so probably not.
When do you think this started looking like a real possibility? At what time in the band's career?
I don't know, it changes every day. I mean, you know, one day you're planning Ellen Road and think it's the biggest thing, but then, you know, it's not like we're just looking at this date and then it's over. Once that's done, you're always looking forward and forward to the next thing. And even now I'm talking to Rich about, you know, the next arena tours and how we can make it bigger and how we can make it better. And, you know, and talking about doing lots of exciting things in the future. So you never really get a chance to stop and think, wow, this is brilliant, because you're always thinking about, wow, the next thing's going to be even bigger.
But it's got to be a milestone.
Yeah. It's but you know, again, all these things, a lot of stress, and I mean, we've been planning this for a long time, and I've just, you know, seen the stage and everything, and it's very impressive. What I like about it is it's all, it looks so, it looks this big tangle of metal, and I like rock shows that look like that. It looks like a war machine. You know what I mean? It didn't look slick and shiny. Like, you know, you see some, you know, some shows, and the stage is a little bit too kind of like, I don't know, just polished. This seems just like a big scaffolding rig. It reminds me of the 70s, kind of, you know, those kind of shows, which I like. It looks a lot more scary when you stand in front of it.
We asked Ricky about the band's creative input to their show designs and their interaction with designer Richard Larkham.
Well, what happens is, it usually starts, me and Rich have a chat about what we want to do, you know, next time. And these go on for about 6 months, these chats. And, you know, because we're always trying to think of new, bigger ideas. And then whenever we go to the band with them, they always say it's, you know, kind of like you go and you've got this great idea and you say, how's this? You go, no, I don't like it. And then you think, all this hard work for nothing. But you've got to remember that sometimes when people say you can do better, you do better. And that's basically what happens. You know, you make a plan, you think it's brilliant. Someone tells you can do better, you do better. But that's what we've always done. And then when it's finished, we go, I'm glad we changed it. So it's not really a bad thing that people say that. You know, it's funny because you bring things back. Like, I remember about 2 years ago, we first had a big light up KC at the Leeds and Reading Festival. And it looks great. And then you think to yourself, well, you know, we could just use that forever. I mean, you can bring it back in small doses for things, because it's a bit like, it's like an old song. People like to see it. But you've always got to make it bigger and better, you know. And you know, the bigger and better the band gets, the bigger and better the show gets, and the bigger and better the show gets, the bigger and better the places you play get. So it all kind of like, it all works in the same way, and as a band, all we've got to do is keep writing better songs, and we're getting bigger and better. And you know, this is bigger than the arena tour. And then, I mean, we're already talking about what we're going to do next arena tour. It's quite impressive, because you mentioned at the beginning Parva, and our stage set was a piece of cardboard with Parva stenciled on it with some fairy lights pushed through it. And
I'm sure Richard would have been very proud of that.
Well, it looked terrible. I remember the scramble before each show to try and find batteries for fairy lights. They were battery-powered fairy lights.
That's not that long ago in the scheme of things, is it? I mean,
probably about
the whole
5 years ago, 5-6 years ago.
The development curve has been quite short.
It seems quite short when you think of it in terms of 5 or 6 years. But then when you think about, we fit a lot into that time, work-wise, because it's been non-stop. So, you know, the actual progression per gig hasn't been that steep, but per time it has. I mean, when we were in early days, we we'd be doing 1 gig a month, and so you never really get into it. And now we gig all the time, and once you get into it, it's amazing. And, I mean, my favourite thing to do, watching it all pan out, is the bit at the end when you're leaving an arena or something, and sometimes go and sit on stage when they're taking all the lights down and stuff. And I think it's incredible.
Your relationship with a lot of the key crew members has been established over quite some time. There's a lot of people that have been there from early on. As you get bigger as a band, as there are more demands placed on you as a person, does it get more difficult to maintain that close relationship, or is there an attitude that?
No, not really, because the people that were around all along, it's like they're part of it. Because they've grown with the band as well. Because the first gigs we were doing were kind of 500 capacity, now we're doing 35,000. So it's as much him kind of getting bigger as it is us getting bigger. Because he's made the journey from club light man to stadium lighting guy with us as well. So it's good in that respect. We could easily get to the stadium size and then just go, see you later, Rich. We're getting U2's guy in. But I don't think that'd suit us, because we'll always have our roots and at least one foot in that kind of indie club thing. And I think the show cleverly reflects that. Tonight, there's what they call vanity ramps, and there's no, it's still a rock show, like an old-fashioned rock show, but it's not old-fashioned.
Have you got new songs?
Yeah, we're playing. I think we're playing four new songs, so we're looking forward to that. That's always the most nerve-wracking bit of a show. It's, but also it's the most fun, because you realise you have to start concentrating again. And what I've noticed is that when you start concentrating, it's a lot more tiring doing the show, doing anything when you're concentrating that hard. So still have to have words written on the monitor there.